Once the indicators are set, I'm then able to identify the pattern, the strategy, and I know exactly how to trade from that. People say to me all the time, Steve, indicators lag. And they're right, indicators do lag. However, price leads, indicators lag. The way I develop my chart overlay, I'm repeating myself so it sinks in that once it's set, I'm then able to identify how to trade the strategy and the pattern going forward. So indicator one is a MACD, and it's a 1226. And when you hear me say a MACD is positive, I just cut right to the chase. It's a little short type of way of saying it's yellow over blue. If a MACD is negative, you'll hear me say blue over yellow. If you hear me say a MACD is above the pivot, positive above the pivot, here's the pivot line. If you hear me say a MACD is negative above the pivot, it's blue over yellow above the pivot. And obviously if a MACD is negative below the pivot or positive below the pivot, this is where the strategies come from. Normally when the MACDs are above the pivot, I look for more sell divergences, buy divergences, and when the MACDs are below the pivot, I look for more buy divergences than sell divergences. Again, the MACD, I just don't use independently. What I do is 85% of the time I use indicators 1, 3, and 4, and 15% of the time I use indicators 1, 2, 3, 4.